The opening scene features a university professor, Julian, who is delivering a lecture to his students about Neanderthals. During the lecture, he reveals that the world's only non-fossilized remains of a Neanderthal were discovered by his boss, Dr. Godwin Thomas, on this very campus, and the specimen was named William. At the end of his class, Julian suggests that they can use William's DNA to create a living Neanderthal, even in this era. Meanwhile, a medical doctor, Barbara Sullivan, who is also a PhD holder in reproductive endocrinology, becomes intrigued by his lecture. She goes to meet him in a restaurant later that evening and initiates a discussion regarding the possibility of cloning William. She says that the process won't be easy, but it's still possible. Amidst their discussion, Barbara questions why he is so curious about Neanderthals. In response, Julian takes her to his lab and shows her a couple stone pieces, one carved by Homo sapiens and one by a Neanderthal. He emphasizes that reviving a Neanderthal could provide invaluable insights, which ultimately convinces Barbara. Soon, the duo takes the approval from the university and starts working on their project. As time passes by, they also develop feelings for each other and start a romantic relationship. I guess you could say that the two of them discovered fire. A few years later, the couple faces a setback. Their cloning project becomes the center of a heated debate at the university. There arises a dilemma whether it's ethical to fund a project about human cloning. In the end, the president of the university, Bob Claiborne, decides to shut it down altogether. This leaves the couple devastated, as they had put all of their effort into this project. While deliberating on this matter, Barbara suggests that they continue the project anyway. Julian wonders who will carry the embryo, to which Barbara responds that she will. The couple then relocates to Nevada and gets married to start their new life. Months later, Barbara gives birth to a healthy boy, and the couple name him William. The very next day, Julian runs back to the university and announces the successful birth of a Neanderthal. However, this upsets Bob, as he didn't expect Julian to continue the project behind his back. He immediately sets up a meeting with other senior officials to plan their next move. One of the officials suggests that they sue Julian for using the university's resources without approval. However, Bob refuses, as he believes the university might be held responsible for allowing this to happen in the first place. They eventually decide to embrace the idea, thinking it will earn them good publicity. After some days, Julian holds a press conference in the university where he shows off pictures of the first ever Neanderthal baby born in the modern world. He says that although William isn't related to him, he still considers himself to be a proud father of the child. The scene then fast forwards several years later, showing a grown-up William. He is currently seen on a ferry boat sailing through the ocean. As the camera zooms in, his distinctive facial features become evident. Upon getting off the boat, Barbara drives him to a secluded house in the forest near the river. She then hugs him goodbye, saying that he is free to come back to her at any time. Following this, William enters the house, where he will be living with his so-called father, Julian. As he explores the place, he is approached by a woman who introduces herself as Sarah. Turns out that she is Julian's new girlfriend and that they've been living together. Later, while having dinner, Sarah compliments his healthy appetite, to which Julian notes that William's body mass and metabolism requires 20% more calories than regular humans. After dinner, Julian goes to William's room to talk with him. He expresses his pride that his son is trying to learn more about human life. Starting from the following day, the couple begins teaching William the basics of English so that he can broaden his limited understanding. It appears that the young guy has difficulty in understanding humor and metaphors. One day at the university, Julian explains to his students about people's harsh reaction to William when he was first revealed to the world. According to the professor, William developed the same or greater intelligence than Homo sapien children. His immune system is a lot more robust and adaptive than other humans, which might be a great help in medicine studies. As he goes on talking, the scene flashes back to the past. Here, we learn that Barbara divorced Julian because he wanted to continue the experiment on William. On the contrary, Barbara, being a mother, didn't want her son to become a test subject. What did she think was going to happen? In the aftermath of that event, Barbara took custody of William and started raising him as a single mother. Julian occasionally visited them to see how William was coping up with the human environment and how he was interacting with the other students at school. One day, the young William was riding his bicycle on the street when a group of teenagers started following him, not wanting to get bullied. William opted to ride away, but the boys started chasing him. They soon managed to corner him in the middle of a bridge. However, as they tried to assault him, our Neanderthal man fought back with his great strength. Following that incident, the parents of the bullies filed a complaint at the police station, but the officers dismissed the case, addressing it as a minor issue. Later, at home, Barbara tended to William's wound and warned him from ever attacking anyone again. The same night, he was surfing through the internet when he stumbled upon an article about Neanderthals. On opening it, he noticed that the Neanderthals are addressed as stupid and beastly creatures, which made him feel bad. The scene then cuts to several years later, depicting a teenage William taking a test in his college. During this, he breaks several of his pencils due to his Neanderthal strength. After the test, one of his female classmates, Judy, approaches him. She invites him over to her house in order to help her practice for the upcoming opera play. William wants to go, but his friends remind him that they already have a plan to go camping. As a result, he promises that he will help her once he returns from the trip. After school, William and his friends go camping in the middle of the forest. While they are enjoying the bonfire, they are joined by two strangers. The group then begins talking, and one of William's friends reveals his secret of being a Neanderthal. This leaves the strangers completely shocked and amazed. The woman curiously asks William if he ever wishes to go back to his time, to which he says yes. We then cut to the program day at college, and William is seen helping Judy with her lines before performing in front of the live audience. The play goes smoothly, ending it with a scripted kiss. But even after the curtain falls, William tries to continue kissing, which makes Judy feel uneasy, so she rejects his advances. On the other hand, Julian and Barbara attend a meeting with the college coordinator, who informs them about William's struggle of achieving satisfactory academic results. He also tells them that intensive tutoring will be helpful for the future. But for this, William must resubmit his college application. Julian is enraged upon learning that Barbara withdrew their son's college application without his permission. As a result, a heated argument ensues between the two. Barbara insists that their son simply take a part-time job after he graduates, while Julian wants him to move in with them and explore more of the world. Shortly after, the coordinator intervenes to mention that nobody will be deciding anything for William. According to him, William will decide for himself, as he will turn 18 in a few weeks. That evening, William walks to the beach with his friends to relax. They discuss their college applications and which universities they were accepted to. They also mention Judy, who will be going to Columbia for her further studies. William is clearly upset to hear this, as his future still remains uncertain. Afterwards, he goes home to talk to his parents regarding his future. Julian wants his son to live with him so that they can complete the previous experiment. Barbara objects, but Julian asserts that William's immune system might be the key to helping millions of people. After a while of deliberation, William decides to live with his father under the condition that he be sent to university for further studies. Julian instantly agrees and tells him to prepare for his college application exam. Back in the present, Julian checks William's test and becomes furious, as there is very little improvement in the results. Thus, he lashes out at Sarah, scolding her for not teaching him properly. When William tries to defend her, his father throws the test paper on his face and storms off. Following this, Sarah tries to console William, saying that he's improving a lot. In an attempt to cheer him up, she takes him out for a walk in the woods. She shares how her parents also used to plan her future, similar to what is happening to William. She eventually lifts his mood by talking to him regarding different topics and also making him sing. Their moment suddenly takes a romantic turn when William kisses Sarah. To his good luck, she also embraces him and kisses him back. The next day, Sarah drives William to the university to take his application test. She wishes him luck and says that she will pick him up later. During the test, William's pencil breaks, as usual. He looks around and notices that no one else is having such an issue. He makes a second attempt to write, but the pencil lead breaks again. Frustrated, William abandons the test and storms out of the room. As he walks around the street, people stare at him and laugh at his unusual facial appearance. William then visits Dr. Godwin, who shows him the perfectly preserved remains from which he was cloned. After watching it closely, William deduces that neither the preserved Neanderthal nor he himself belong here. Meanwhile, Sarah is waiting outside the test venue, and she becomes concerned when William doesn't arrive on time. Hence, she calls Barbara and informs her about the situation. In the next scene, William sneaks into Julian's class, where he finds his father lecturing about the Neanderthals. As Julian explains William's role in the coming future, the latter interrupts, claiming that he is wrong and his work is a failure. Julian, who doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of his students, rudely replies, "You're a failure." This upsets William, who then walks away. Julian immediately regrets his action and follows him outside. He tries to apologize and tells him to go home so that they can discuss it later. But William refuses and asserts that he is not his father, which earns him a slap. Julian then tries to force him to go home, but William swings his arm, inadvertently knocking him down. The students witness this and call the police, prompting him to run away. On the other hand, Sarah and Barbara continue to search, while the police also begin patrolling the area. After a while, Sarah locates him outside the university, but he's caught by the police before she can reach him. She cries out loud as the police presumably shoot William for not complying with them. In the final scene, we see Sarah visiting the dig site of the Neanderthal, who William was cloned from. She has a baby boy in her hands, probably William's child. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.